Have you ever thought if there's hope left in this world full of self-replicating isekais with brain-damaged writers, harem animes where script is a disguise for a compilation of big tits falling on you, or you falling on big tits, or big tits falling on big tits? Yeah, I've been thinking about it too much, but the real question is, what if Tarantino dated Hidetaka Miyazaki, got pregnant, divorced, and raised the boy with Kentaro Miura? Well, the answer may shock you. It is this, bold man. Oh, sorry, wrong hero of mine. This guy. He may look like an ordinary, bold, sexy Jason Statham, but don't let his smooth head fool you. He made a 67-chapter manga about a dude walking alone in the big fucking nothing in space and made it interesting. There is nothing he can't do. If he wanted to, he would make a manga about your life and make it into a comedy with a happy ending. I'm gonna give you some little rundown of his impeccable career.
He was special.
Worked as a construction worker, said fuck it, I'ma do buildings. Went to New York to study architecture, said fuck this, I'ma do manga. Made manga, won the special prize in 1995 for his debut work Blame. Continued it till 2003, made millions, said fuck this, I'ma do comics. Worked on Wolverine for Marvel, disappeared for a decade releasing minor titles like Knights of Sidonia and Apocisms, came back and dropped this. Refused to elaborate. Ladies and gentlemen, Tower Dungeon. If this is not a coolest biography, I don't know what to believe in this world anymore. This guy is a modern living legend. If the author of Dandadan is drawing fan art of your work and the author of Chainsaw Man is your biggest fan, you must be doing something right. And right, he did. You ever played Dark Souls? Yeah, that game. You ever wondered what if you were in the game? Tsutomu Nihei answered your questions already by taking an age-old monomyth of a princess being stolen and the hero going on an adventure to save her, all in the gruesome decorations full of Walking Dead, dragons, and whatever this is. I mean, the question is for you, how your ex ended up here? Oh yeah, and the tower, big tower in the middle of the world, that is also a dungeon. How cool is that? And don't forget the main character who presses 500 kilograms with one toe of his left leg and throws salt. Seriously, that's his ultimate ability. Who joins a serious guy, not so serious guy, the fireball casting bitch, the Legolas from Discount, and the others. And they go into the tower where on top floor the princess is awaiting for a rescue. So what happens? What makes this unique? This may seem as such a typical fantasy world building that makes us puke whenever we hear the word dragons. But this is the best part. The author manages to make all the archetypes introduce the world to us. This work is a breath of fresh air. Because like in Tarantino-style dialogue, the exposition happens so covertly, so smartly in the dialogue between the characters that you don't even notice how you fly through pages and leave wanting more. Every phrase, every frame, and every page, there's a nugget of information hidden for you to explore and think about. Really think about it.
They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes!
For example, the story begins with a creature disguised as a king, stealing the princess and calling for some tower. In the remote village we meet Yuva, the main hero of this story, peacefully living his life and feeding chicken as we all do. Meanwhile, in the same village, people start talking about the incident. From their words, we learn that the knights who tried to save the princess were crushed, and now the kingdom is calling for people from villages to join the army. Obviously, people are hesitant. I mean, what the fuck you gonna do? the knights were crushed, right? You were just a mere peasant. But if no one volunteers from the village, they gotta pay a hefty price of 500 kilograms of crops. But you know what? Our not-so-smart guy just volunteers. How am I gonna do this, he says. So he leaves the village and joins a group of warriors headed into the dungeon. He amazes them with his inhuman strengths, and so they decide to make him into a squire, to carry water and salt and... you know. Just by 20-something pages, Nihei set up the conflict, introduced the main characters, showed the life of villagers, making the story more immersive. He basically made an exposition that you didn't notice. But more importantly, he left hooks that will make you read.
Cheesy!
Ask yourself this question. How would the same happen in any other anime or manga? The background voice would just pour you with some political information that doesn't even influence the plot, and when you reach the actual plot, the guy is a slime now. This manga, it's different. Have you had this feeling in the beginning of good movies, when new characters are introduced, a new location is shown, or a crucial piece of information thrown at you? When Starks are invited to the capital, when Corleone family is having a wedding, when Bilbo Baggins meets the Gandalf, and you wonder, what's gonna happen next? This is the exact feeling you're gonna have reading this manga. You are thrown into the new world you know nothing about, and the characters know more than you. Except the protagonist, he's a little bit dense, you know? So you grab every little piece of information coming from their mouths and paint your own world. And add half people, half dragons, cat girl knights, weird monsters, political intrigues, and don't forget your ex. Without her, the story doesn't work. Then it's still not everything. The story. The story is snappy, fast-paced, and action-fueled acid trip that rivals Chainsaw Man's first part. Don't ask me about the second part. You know the 3-episode rule? Forget the fuck of that. Professionals have standards. Read 4 chapters of this manga and you're gonna see the best cinematic action sequence shown in just 10 pages. After that scene, I called Yuva a daddy and I felt proud about it. Don't believe me? I dare you, read the first 4 chapters, man. If you tell me that you read until there and you drop the manga, I am fucking sorry. Return to whatever masterpiece you've been reading. Demon Slayer? Good for you. Boku no Pico? Oh man, do whatever you want. Dragon Ball? Fuck. I respect Dragon Ball, Brazilian brothers. I see you. I see you. The author makes it impossible to drop the story. No, he doesn't hold you at gunpoint, but rather he leaves little secrets, aka Chekhov rifles, and they hold you at gunpoint. For example, why is the MC so strong? What are the creatures in the tower? How did the tower even appear in the first place? All these little hooks peel at your body and don't let go until you buy the latest chapter and read it all. This is a high purity, intense cocaine I'm talking about.
Tight, yeah!
For the end, I want to tell you a story from when I was just a small alligator kid. I had a CD with a Naruto game. I really wanted to play it, but my older cousin whom I asked to install the game told me that my PC is just too old to run it. I told him to shut up and make me play this game. Come on! I was 5 years old and my small village getting your hands on any game is like a promised non-stop pleasure for 2 weeks. Anyway, I cried and begged and made him go to my house and install the game. He fell under my pressure eventually and we went to my house where he installed it and you guessed it, it didn't work. It didn't. The story is not about miracles. They happen way too rare. This story is about this tendency all of us had when we were kids, just when small things made us see the world in such bright colors. My brother instead gave me the CD of Naruto the anime. I've watched that CD so much that Dattaboyo was the only word that made sense at that time. That is how Tower Dungeon feels to read. The story that places us in the middle of a massive conflict as an assuming protagonist with a little secret who is growing and making friends along the way. We read stories for that matter, to immerse ourselves in fiction and live other lives, experience different epochs that never happened. If you are a real fan of the stories on big screens, paper magazines and animated works, waiting for the long-lost feeling of precious and amazing like a kid gifted a new PC game or a new CD with your favorite cartoon on it, imagining how cool would it be to spend all holidays binging and absorbing and dreaming, then treat yourself. Go read it and remember how cool was it when the life was full of magic. If you watch till the end, thank you. I worked on this for a really long time. This is the first video that I actually edited. What I want to say. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe if you want. I also stream, by the way, on Twitch very rarely. And also, by the way, the thumbnail is drawn by me. You can find the Instagram in the link description. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.